Tell me about Catholic school and what it was like to go there.
I have a book. It's a paperback book. It's probably up here. And it's called Once a Catholic. And you turn for the cover, and it has ... always a Catholic. I bought that a long time ago because I thought it would be interesting to maybe shape me put me back into shape, because I had grown pretty skeptical when I was about a junior or a senior at IC school, and you had to drag me to go to Mass, which was required. Often we would take time off the school day and go to Mass, and I didn't. I had trouble accepting the whole deal. I was asking myself, why do we need to pray the Hail Mary 50 times? Seriously. You know what the rosary looks like. It's got 5 mysteries, and there are the joyous, the glorious, and the sorrowful mysteries. Excuse me, and they were just many commandments. But we would be there, the priest would read the first part. He'd recite the first part. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. And then we would answer, Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. And you had to bow your head whenever you said Jesus. That was a ritual that I guess I got tired of, and I really felt guilty, because here they go to all this trouble to teach us this long thing, takes about 20 minutes. They go to the trouble to teach us, and we don't appreciate it. So I had a lot of fun teasing my sisters and all that, because at least for all outward appearances, they acted as if they believed if they prayed. But well, no matter how much I questioned my own faith, I still had lots of questions that weren't answered. Now, Father Rabberel, who was quite elderly, and he had been our parish priest for a long time, he didn't have time to answer our questions. Here, youth want to know. I was one of them, and I would ask a question like, is there any way to tell who's going to heaven before they die? Is there any way to tell? And he would just kind of brush me off. I'm busy. I can't answer that. But always they would end each put down with, you have to have faith. Well, maybe my faith was faulty, because I wondered about these things, thinking that I could see Joseph. I don't mean St. Joseph, but a Joseph in my class who was pretty wild, showed up drunk at school once in a while. I'm sure that he had lots of affairs, lots of experience with girls. But his name is Joseph. He's not the right kind of person to have that name and do those actions. So I saw a double standard, because everyone in my family was expected to be angelic. But then it seemed that the rest of the people, as long as they paid their tuition, they could get away with anything they wanted. And I know that there was a caste system there. A caste system is a situation in which some of the favored people, the people who pay their tuition on time, that they are granted favors. If there's a scholarship in the offing at the end of the year, they get it. I thought that was unfair. And there were lots of other things which probably would be a topic for another lecture. The idea that there was unfairness, and we saw a lot of things going on, and if ever one of us brought it up to the principal or to the head priest, they said, "Oh, got to have faith. Yeah, well, how much faith does a little sixth grader have when he sees things that are wrong, and yet he's expected just to accept them?
What was it like with? How did the nuns treat you? What would some of the punishments be for misbehaving or?
Okay. Well, the book I referred to a while ago, Once a Catholic, and then you turn the page, Always a Catholic, that pretty much listed some of the things we endured. We would, one of the minor punishments was clapping those erasers. You could inhale a gallon, a ton of that chalk, and it would coat your lungs. I'm saying, hypothetically, we could do this, and people would say, oh, you're using too much chalk. We would be scolded for doing a good job. There was that, other punishments. Loretta, one of my classmates, was new at school, and I think the first week she cut up or got in trouble, and the nuns they drew a circle on the chalkboard, and they had her put her nose up against it, and remained that way for maybe an hour. And as long as the class lasted, the rest of us thought it was kind of funny, and we also thought that Loretta deserved the punishment. But I wouldn't have been able to remain still and obedient if they'd done that to me. I got punished a lot, but I don't think I ever deserved any of it. Now, one of the things that talking about punishment, Robert had this awful habit of swallowing his snot. I know. Well, Robert did that all the time. And one time, Sister, whatever her name was, Sister, warned him. And she identified him. She said, "No, Robert, if you do that one more time, you're out of here. I'm going to call your parents and they're going to remove you from school." Well, it became almost a habit. Like the next day, he made that sound, the snot swallowing sound. He would continue to do it. I think it was some of a habit that he had that he couldn't break. And then we could see the sister coming down the aisle, and slapping him. A couple of times she slapped him twice, back and forward, and a lot of us felt sorry for the kid because she was swinging very hard. I thought that she was sadistic. Well, after a few more days of that, I think that she figured that she'd had enough, and today if he does it again, this is really it. I'm calling his parents, or we're calling the police. I don't know what she was thinking, but I imagine she could have been thinking that. So, sure enough, she heard that snotty sound. She came marching down the aisle, and I thought, he's going to get it. But then it occurred to me, I had the seat to myself. Robert was absent that day. I was sitting right in the middle because I had room on both sides. But he had missed school that day. Well, it was I. I was more shocked than hurt, but she gave me a forward slap and a back slap. And of course, everybody looked and they said, "Oh, you mean Arthur is getting punished?" And anyway, she told me, "Don't you ever do that again." Now, I can only guess, and after all these years, I'm still very puzzled about it, but I thought, okay, she slapped me a couple of times very hard. What did I do? And I honestly believe to this day that she wasn't about to be made a fool of. She realized when she was mid-stride that the person she was going to punish wasn't there. He wasn't in school that day. But let's not waste extra effort. My steps caused me to raise my heartbeat. And so Arthur got it.